Holla and hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you? Especially you German farmers. How are you doing? Apparently, you're kind of upset because the tractors are out and about. That much I know. The tractors are out and about, and I don't really exactly know why. I don't know all the details, that's for sure. And today I'm doing some kind of a deep dive into why. I'm going to start out watching this video, German economy in free fall as tractor farmers protest against government. Okay. Hopefully this is a bit of an exaggerated, clickbait title. I hope your economy is not in free fall, but I want to hear them out. This one stuck out to me. And look at all the tractors. Hold on.
Germany is in gridlock after thousands of farmers block highways across the country in a row over government subsidies. We're here in Hanover in northern Germany as farmers amass outside the local parliament building with horns blaring and lights flashing. It comes as Germany's economy stumbles and there are widespread concerns about the levels of migration. Now,
Migration. Okay, this is all sorts of different aspects to this. It's like, okay, I thought it was just about the subsidies. I guess whatever political party is in control right now is trying to cut subsidies to the farmers. That much I think I know.
there are fears
Which people don't like it when you take their money.
that these demos will fuel a rise in popularity for the far right.
Oh my God, look at that. It is really in deadlock here. I'm going to translate this sign right here. We're still here. Please listen to us. We don't bite. I was really hoping that sign would give me a little bit more context, coming from the horse's mouth, so to say, as to what they want, but that didn't help.
We are angry about our government. The government will take away 1 billion, is right, 1 billion euro from our farms to manage the
household budget.
Yes. These are no subventions, but it is taxes go high for us. It is the gas we need to work on our soil, and we need this gas, and we don't drive on the streets.
That is an interesting point with gas being so high, especially in Germany. I know gas went up a lot. I don't know if it's come down. It certainly has here in America, but
only drive on our soil. And for 70 years ago, the government said, okay, you don't take the streets and you don't have to pay the full tax, but a little bit lower. And now the government needs money, and they will take us from the farmers. And we are very angry.
I guess that's pretty much the crux of the matter, huh? The government needs money. Because like with most governments, they spend more than they have, and I guess in Germany it's coming back to bite them, and they are trying to balance the budget a little bit, which is, also necessary, especially with inflation the way it is. I do have the German inflation chart pulled up as well, year over year German inflation. I heard that it ticked up last month in December, which I can see. Went from a year-over-year rate from 3.2 back up to 3.7. A little bit concerning. I mean, obviously it looks like it is on a trend down. Hopefully it remains that way. Okay, so the AFD has stepped in. And I saw a lot of memes last week about how, when the AFD wants to cut funding, the farmers are all okay with it. But when someone else does, they're mad. So it's interesting to hear that the AFD is stepping in on behalf of the farmers. I assume it would seem that, like here in America, most farmers are conservative or lean to the right. A YouGov poll found 1 in 4 farmers backed the AFD, while critics say they are opportunistically latching onto the farmers' demonstrations. Well, that's politics for you. When you have an outraged group, political parties are like, should we latch on to us? You know, we're going to save you. It was reported that high-ranking AFD officials were caught at a secret conference where a master plan for the forced deportation of millions of migrants to Africa was discussed. That came out of left field, and what the hell? I want to translate that sign right there. It said, I think that means stop the ample. I'm just going to keep it rolling because that's pretty short. Stopped the ample. The traffic lights, which is that coalition. I don't know what coalition it is, but I guess that's the coalition that's trying to cut the funding.
Even in the East
Stop the traffic lights.
countries, so the former GDR.
I want to translate that one too. If the farmer is ruined, your food or the food is imported. Okay. Farmers play a crucial role, of course, for fresh food, and you know they do it. Obviously, farming is pretty fundamental to any society. You definitely need the farmers.
Where the link to the traditional parties is not that high as in the Western countries. Maybe the half of it is protest.
Okay.
So and then there are maybe 3 or 4%.
I just had to say that these trees are crazy. Those look crazy. I've never seen a tree like that, where it just grows up like 7 feet and then goes straight out. Had to get that off my chest.
10% of people who are hardly right. So now they have a party they can elect. They didn't have a party before, or it was there was no chance to ever come to a parliament.
Yeah.
Now there is a chance that my vote is going to a parliament. So all these hard right people can vote. Energy prices are decreasing right now.
Yeah.
But the companies, the biggest problem for the companies is that they are overruled. And these rules are increasing the production costs. And that's our biggest problem in Germany. AfD is linked to Russia.
I'm trying to follow along. Sounds like he says there's a bunch of bureaucracy and stuff that, and regulations that inevitably usually increase costs for the farmers, but sometimes regulations are necessary, of course, especially when it comes to food. So, not sure what to think about that.
They don't want any money for Ukraine and don't want any help for Ukraine. And we say we have to support Ukraine because...
Okay, this guy's with the CDU. I have to look that up real quick. I can't remember if they're left or right. He sounds kind of pretty conservative right now, but I thought they were a left party. A centrist and liberal conservative political party. Center-right. Okay, that makes sense.
That's a democratic system, and Putin is a criminal.
Wir unterstützen diese Proteste voll und ganz.
What the government wants to pass here is a great injustice to German agriculture.
Was die Bundesregierung da beschließen will, ist ein großes Unrecht an unserer deutschen Landwirtschaft. Und also es wird dazu führen, dass
lead to us experiencing a further form of death of agriculture.
Wir ein weiteres Höfe- und Betriebesterben haben und das dadurch natürlich
Whereby at some point our domestic agriculture sector will not be to feed indigenous people.
unsere Landwirtschaft irgendwann nicht mehr ausreichen wird, die heimische Bevölkerung zu ernähren. Also erstmal müssen wir festhalten, in den Umfragen stehen wir bei 23%. Und da ist natürlich auch bei den Landwirten, ich würde sagen, beinahe derselbe, wenn nicht sogar ein etwas höherer Anteil an Wählern. Und wir haben natürlich nichts infiltriert. Wir haben uns bei diesen Demos genauso engagiert wie auch andere Parteien. Bei diesen Protesten stehen wir natürlich auch voll hinter den Landwirten, weil wir diese Maßnahme der Regierung nicht wollen.
I want to hear from the other side. You know what I mean? This is great, but I need to hear why they want to cut the subsidies. I mean, maybe that's obvious. Trying to save money. But out of all things, you know, subsidies for farmers. I don't know. It is a little bit, you know, isn't there something else you could cut? I don't know. I guess you're going to piss people off no matter what you cut. Maybe cut the politicians' salaries.
Ich sag mal, jede Unzufriedenheit der Bevölkerung ist natürlich gut für die Oppositionsparteien. Nur was man dabei nicht vergessen darf, wir haben im Moment eine sehr linke Regierung und wir sind eine konservative Partei. Wir wollen natürlich etwas völlig anderes.
I'm kind of surprised that a left-wing government wants to cut subsidies. You know what I mean? No. I mean, left-wing governments have a reputation of not cutting spending. There are some, though, that, you know, I think of like Bill Clinton presidency. You know, they balanced the budget when no one else ever seems to be able to freaking do that. So it is certainly possible, but it's a little surprising to hear that the left-wing government wants to cut the subsidies for the farmers.
Als die jetzigen Parteien. Ich würde sagen, Deutschland hat grundsätzlich die letzten.
You know what is a whole aspect to this that I'm curious about? You guys use the euro, whereas here in America, it's very convenient for the government to be able to print their own money. That, you know, they have full control, the Federal Reserve and the politicians, over printing the money. So if they need more money, yeah, they can, or if the budget's out of whack, which it is, always is, they can print more money, they can raise taxes, or they can cut spending. Cutting spending seems to never be the option. But with you guys using the euro, I don't know how that works. Who gets to decide when to print more euros? I guess the EU does.
Jahre zu viele Immigranten reingelassen. In Deutschland ist es ja auch so, das wird ja nicht als Immigranten den Leuten verkauft von der Regierung, sondern als
I don't know why they're talking about migrants. What is the relevance?
Flüchtlinge. Und das sind ja, ich sag mal, temporär Asylsuchende.
I really get this bad taste in my mouth when they're mixing in this, you know, about migrants. When I'm interested in the farming subsidies and the budget. Like
Suchende, weil sie in ihrer Heimat gerade nicht sein.
Okay. All right, so I'm trying to do a little bit more research here on good old Wikipedia. It says farmers block highway access in parts of Germany against a government plan to remove tax breaks on diesel used in agriculture. Okay. All right. That really puts a couple of the puzzle pieces together for me. That's why he was talking about gas at the beginning of that video. And that's why, you know, it does make sense that, you know, it would be typical for a left-wing government to want to remove tax breaks, especially on diesel. Obviously, you know, for environmental reasons and because, You know, tax breaks. Got it. Got it. It has the same effect. I thought they were trying to take subsidies. I mean, it is the same effect, but it takes subsidies away from like money that was being given to farmers as an incentive to farm. Take it away. Cut that. But this is a little bit different. Okay, that's good to know. This photo is crazy. I mean, look at that. Wow. The scale of this protest is quite large. And this, I guess, is in the middle of Berlin. Yeah, right outside the Brandenburg Gate. Oh, yeah. That would be that. I was reading right here. Following protests in December, the government reversed a decision on axing a tax discount for agricultural vehicles. Okay. And announced that the diesel subsidy would be phased out over 3 years rather than being cut immediately. Okay. But the farmers aren't happy with that. Not surprising. Okay, I've got a news story from DW. Fakes about Germany farmers' protests. Wow.
Their protest is loud and paralyzing traffic nationwide. German farmers have been demonstrating against the slashing of subsidies for days now. Many images of the protest are being shared online and going viral, but you must be careful. Some of them are fake or misleading. Here on TikTok, it seems as if the situation has escalated.
TikTok. Not surprising. Man, it's always so weird to me you guys use a comma. 20.3 thousand likes, but use a comma. It's just strange to me.
One user claims that the
Whoa.
German police is threatening a farmer at gunpoint.
That would appear to be what's happening.
Really? No. The first hint is the uniform. The two neon yellow stripes don't appear on German police uniforms like this, but they do in the Netherlands. Following this trail, we find the video on Dutch websites. It was actually published back in 2022 and shows a police operation against farmers' protests there in the Netherlands.
Oh my God.
Next example are Polish truck drivers
Looking like an American policeman right there.
really on their way to Germany to support the protests? That's what this viral post claims. A reverse image search leads us to the answer. The video was made in
TikTok.
December, before the current protests in Germany. It shows something completely different, however. A protest by Polish truck drivers in Szczecin who wanted to draw attention to the difficult economic situation in the haulage industry.
God, there's so much fake news.
The protests by German farmers are making international headlines, but there are also some dubious claims like this one. This X-user from Canada claims that the World Economic Forum is censoring any coverage of the German farmers' protests. Again, false. All German national and many international media outlets are reporting extensively on the protests. Farmers are on the streets across Germany demonstrating against the subsidy cuts. The protests are huge.
I mean, you don't hear a lot about it on here in the American news, but that might just be because America is notorious for not reporting on world events.
And yet some people demonstrating against the subsidy cuts. The protests are huge, and yet some people online are trying to make them look even bigger. Here columns of tractors are allegedly seen traveling from Austria and Hungary across the border to Germany, on their way to Berlin, like they say.
Okay.
However, the tractors in the video are not from Austria and Hungary, but a convoy in Koblenz in Western Germany. And this protest already took place at the end of December, as these Facebook posts show. Social media feeds shape
Okay.
our perception of events such
Interesting. Just a small twist on the truth there.
as the farmers' protests and influence our opinions. But what if some of the images you see online are not even real? These
AI! If you can't tell that was generated by Midjourney, You need to turn off the computer, folks.
Images, for example, are intended to show farmers' protests or draw attention to the protest dates. But these are not real photos, they are images generated by artificial.
You know, it's lucky, we are lucky that AI, for the most part, and this isn't even really true. Like, as I'm saying this, I'm like, but, you know, you could still sort of tell this is an AI photo. It's almost too beautiful. With that said, there are other models and stuff that don't make images that look like this, like it's a movie poster. So I retract my statement. We're doomed. You really can't tell what an AI photo, what photo is AI or not. And it's only going to get worse.
But these are not real photos, they are images generated by artificial intelligence. And here are some clues that should make you suspicious. The images are perfectly staged and show picturesque colors, or as well flawless people.
No farmers are that beautiful.
Almost like a painting. The deception is even clearer here. This man has only 4 fingers on one hand, which is still a typical mistake in AI images. Have you
The sad thing is, I mean, like I was just saying, those tips he just shared are only relevant for as long as, you know, until the next model comes out. The better, than, you know, the new and improved 5-finger model.
seen more fakes? Then send us a mail to factchecking@dw.com.
That was helpful. Wow. I'm happy I kind of have a fuller picture of it all now. I don't know if I have an opinion on it. It's not really my place. I'm not German. I understand really everyone's side. And I definitely empathize with the farmers, you know, of course, like anyone else. And especially farmers do a lot of hard work. And it's vital. So when you're making their work more expensive, they're not going to be happy. But at the same time, you got to figure out a way to balance the budget somehow, don't you? Not sure if that should be your first target. But then again, it is just a tax cut on diesel, you know. Interesting thing. I don't know. What do you guys think? Very interesting. I feel a lot more informed now, so that's good. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching.